and welcome back to More Sewing with Michele. On today's episode, I'm talking about zippers. Oh my goodness. I have got 7 different colors with different teeth. We have some metallic ones, and I'm going to talk about zippers and how to use them, how to attach them, and all these wonderful different ins and outs of zippers. We're going to zip it up, but I also have this wonderful zipper jig to show you. That's right, a jig to wrangle up those zippers and get the zipper pulls on correctly with ease. This little baby is going to be your friend in the zipper department. So let's get going on today's episode of More Sewing with Michele. So let's get going with some facts. Now, in 1893, Whitcomb Judson created the first clasp locker. That's what he called a zipper way back then in Chicago, Illinois. And then him, along with Gideon Sundback, got the patent, and the patent was created in 1917. And Gideon also manufactured the machine to make zippers. So, pretty important. Once again, all the stuff that happened in the past that makes sewing for us so much fun and easier. Just imagine if we always had to put in zippers. Now, one other real fun fact is there was something actually called the Battle of the Fly, and that was to see if zippers were better or buttons on the flies of pants. So we all know that pretty much those zippers won out on that. It makes it so much easier, faster to get in and out of your pants to have a zipper rather than buttons. So zippers 100% really changed the industry as far as clothing and how things are put together and how we take them on and off. Now, I know when I was back in, I think the 70s, they had those sailor button-up pants, and oh my gosh, did I love them. I wish that they would come back today. So there are still some pants that do use a button fly, but they're pretty much so a thing of the past. It would only be a decorative type thing nowadays. So there you go. There you have it. That's the history. Thank you, Whitcomb Judson, for creating his clasp locker. Now, since then, zippers have come a long way. Basically, we have 2 different types. We have coil zippers, we have molded plastic, and we have metal. Now, I have a few here. This is a metal zipper. And when you have metal zippers, you're pretty limited as far as how you put them in. The length of it is really going to dictate it because your sewing machine cannot sew through the metal teeth. You'll break your needle. So, but they're pretty fun and decorative. And sometimes metal zippers will have a really cool pull on them. This one's got like a little ball at the end, and I love that. So I still purchase metal zippers when I want something a little bit more decorative on my purse, my zip bag, whatever I'm making. I think sometimes a metal zipper just gives it a little bit more flair to whatever you're making. Now, the next is the molded plastic. Now, molded plastic is what you will see oftentimes in like heavy duty duffel bags, etc. The plastic has very big teeth and they're molded to that size. They're generally a little bit larger. And oftentimes you will also see them with 2 zipper pulls. So you can open them from both ends and have the center left open. So molded plastic is one of those. It would be more for a heavy duty type of thing. And you will see those on bags that are going to maybe carry a lot of weight, or there might be tension on those teeth. So you want a little bit more security. And once again, that would be with molded plastic. Now, coil zippers are generally what I use when I'm making bags and also zip bags or putting in clothing and stuff. They're probably, I would say, in my opinion, they're used the most for crafting and also clothing because they're easy. And what I mean by easy is you can sew right over the teeth. So you can take this zipper, which look how fabulous that is. This zipper has got a decorative tape, so it's got punched out flowers, and I love that. But you can take that tape, put it right on something and sew so that you have that tape showing. And you can sew right over the teeth to secure them. And I love that, which is why I pretty much use coil zippers the most when I'm sewing, because it's just easier to make that size exactly where I want it, and I don't have to worry about the end to end, because most of them will have a metal stopper, and I can tell you sometimes those stoppers get in the way of what I want to do. So I have made lots of adjustments as to how I install zippers and how to get away from those metal stoppers, because you don't want your sewing machine getting near them, and they can just be problematic. So once again, this is a coil. Now, coil zippers come in so many different sizes and so many different colors. So I've got 2 additional colors here. These are size 3 zippers, which are pretty much the smallest that you can get. At least I don't know of anything smaller than a 3. I'd be really tight teeth. But they work just like any other zipper, up and down, and these ones come prepackaged by size. So most of the time you can buy zippers in predetermined sizes, usually in 1-inch increments, and then you use them for whatever you want. Now, there's also molded plastic that's a little bit larger, but I brought this one to show you. I love fun zipper pulls. So I have been known to buy additives to make the zipper pull a little bit fun. I also like to add stuff to the zipper pull to make it easier to pull it. And I'm going to show you that later in some of the samples I've had. So this one is a molded plastic, but look at that zipper pull. It is just so much fun. And for some reason, these ring zipper pulls take me back to the 70s when I was growing up. I absolutely love them. So that's kind of the deal on these zippers. Now, I have brought in some zippers for you today, as well as we have the zipper jig. Now, the zippers that I brought in are by Pam Damore, and I love them. And let me explain why I was so excited to bring in zippers for more sewing with Michele. Now, this is the red zipper, and it comes in a 3-yard cut of the zipper. And it comes with 8 zipper pulls. Now you'll see they're not anything like this one, which is all put together and ready to go. These ones are separate. You have the zipper pulls, and then you have the zipper tape. Now let me talk just a little bit about zipper tapes and zippers all the way together. So you will see on the tape there is a front side and a back side. The front side has the tape or the teeth of the zipper. They're protruding, so they're standing up a little bit more. The back side is very smooth. And oftentimes on the back side, you can see the stitching as far as how the teeth were added to the tape. Now, the tapes generally have somewhere between, I would say, 3/4 of an inch and 1 inch on each side. And it depends upon the manufacturer and what they're doing with the tape. But I plan on just using a little bit. So most of the time I will sew my seam so that there's just a little bit left over. I do like sometimes my zipper showing a little bit more. So it depends. And there's no right or wrong way as far as how you put your zipper in, as far as how much of the tape is showing. It's a personal preference. Now, sometimes with that said, if you're following a pattern and you want your bag to match up at the top, you're going to want to double check the way that they show the zipper on the pattern. If that fabric is lined up right to the side so that you really don't see any tape, you're going to want to make sure that you follow that, because if not, you may end up with a 1/2 of an inch extra on your width of the bag. So it is important to know how you're going to use your zipper, and if it's in a pattern, how big your fabric, that gap between your fabric and your fabric is going to be, because you want to make sure that everything lines up correctly down the road. Now, with that said, you can see that this is a coil. You can simply pull it apart and you can add it back together. Now, on this zipper, you can see we've got all this length here. And on the other side, there's no metal poles. And remember what I just said a little while ago? Those metal poles get in the way. So, and the stoppers. So I do not want them on here when I'm planning out what I'm going to do. Now, oftentimes when I am doing a zip bag or a drop zipper or a purse or something, I want to have it exactly the length that I want. So I'm not going to be wasting zipper tape. If I buy, a 9-inch zipper, but I only need 5 inches, then I'm losing all of that. And there are people that will save that and use it in different ways. Oftentimes with zippers, the leftover zippers, I don't save them. They go in the trash. I pitch them right away. But you could save them and make something fabulous out of them. And now when you get the zipper pull, you can actually make even more things. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll get to that in a minute. So, since we don't have a pre-designated size, you're going to get more life and more use out of these. Now, keep in mind, we have 8 zipper pulls for this length, and they come red. Now, let me talk about the zipper pulls themselves. Now, this one's got a really nice long pull. You can see from there, pretty long pull. It's got a hole on the end, which is where I like to add ribbon or fabric and make a really cool, tie a bow or something to make it easier to pull. Now, a zipper pull has 2 sides. It has a flat side, which is the back, and then it has a front side where the pull is attached. Let me get this out of the way so you can see. Whoops. Where the pole is attached. Now, if you look from the side, you can see that it's got that ring on the front, and it's pretty important because when you use this zipper jig, you're going to want to make sure that you know the front from the back. And it also has different openings. Now, at the top of the zipper pole, there's 2 channels that you're going to add your zipper tape to, and in the bottom, there's 1. And obvious reasons, you're going to put the 2 pieces of the tape like so in the top, and at the bottom, they'll come out zipped together as 1. So keep in mind that basic information. When I have tried, oh my gosh, and the reason this zipper pull is so cool for me is because how many other people out there have bought a zipper, or you had a leftover length and you tried to add a pull to it. And you need like at least 1 more hand to get the job done. It can be very frustrating. So it's always good to know how it goes together, how this zipper works, and have that extra hand. I've actually used to have my son hold it while I was trying to put it in. And not only just having 1 extra hand can help, but a smaller hand does the job better. But oftentimes, if you have too many hands in there, it's a small job that it just gets complicated. And that's where this wonderful zipper bowl, which I'm going to do a demo in just a little bit, comes into play because it makes it easier to buy all of this zipper tape and to get all of these pulls and to create your own zippers to the size that you need. So if you want something 9.5 inches, you can get 9.5 inches and not waste that 1/2 inch. So many things that you can do. Now let me show you some of the colors that I brought in. So I just showed you, this is the red, and we have fuchsia, really pretty fuchsia. We have, it's a light gray. I almost call it like a putty or a taupe, but we have a light gray. We have, this one is a denim zipper. I love the color because it really matches like a worn-in pair of jeans. And then we have Kelly green, which I love green. Kelly green is just one of those, colors that I always gravitate to. I love Kelly green. Now, I also brought in 2 other specialty colors that have neat zipper pulls. So the first one, this is our bronze. And on here, I'll show you a little bit close up later. It's got black tape, but it's got a nice bronze patina to the teeth as well as the zipper pulls. Now, these last 2 here that we have, They come with 2.5 yards of the actual zipper, and they come with 7 poles. Because it's got that fun patina in the bronze color, you get a little bit less, but so worth it. Now, this one is the rose gold. Now, I love rose gold. I don't know why, but really bright gold, I don't gravitate towards it. But if I get something with a patina, a bronze, gunmetal, or rose gold, oh my gosh, it's just so exciting for me. So we have black tape with the rose gold. So pretty. And once again, with this one, you get 2.5 yards of the tape and you get 7 poles. So those are the colors that I have today. And next up, I'm going to show you the zipper jig up close. So let's talk about this great tool, the Gypsy Quilter Handy Zipper Jig. Love this thing. I'm telling you, when I saw this, when I was doing some research, I got so excited because, as I shared before, kind of putting zipper pulls on zippers has been a little bit difficult. So the tool itself is pretty straightforward. You can see that it's got some teeth on it. It's got a base that's got a little bit of a grip on the bottom, so it'll stay on your table and not move. It's got 2 slots, and on the front of it, you will see that one says for 3-inch zippers, one says for 5, but I want to make sure that you're aware of, you can also use 4.5 size zippers as well. So once again, we can use 3, 4.5, and 5-inch zippers on this wonderful zipper pull. You can also create 2-way zippers with it. I love, and once again, the great thing about the zippers is you can cut them to size. Now, these are the coil zippers. Now, the basic colors come with 3 yards of the zipper tape, and you also get 8 poles. And once again, the rose gold and the bronze, you're going to get 2.5 yards of the zipper tape as well as 7 poles. So, with that said, what I want to show you is how to use this. Now, you can see here, I have got 2 different pieces of zipper tape. And for obvious reasons, on some of the samples that I'm going to be showing you next, I thought it would be so cool to mix and match up your tapes. So I'm going to be making a double pull. You can see here that I have the blue as well as the gray pull ready to go as well. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your 2 pieces, and once again, I talked about the front and the back. The back side is nice and smooth. And what I'm going to do is take the top of my zipper pull, which is right here, and I'm going to simply put it just slightly in. And then I'm going to insert it into my zipper jig like so. So you can see that it's inserted. And then I'm going to take the other piece, making sure that I have the front or the top, and I'm going to slightly add it into the pull like so. And then I'm going to very gently pull, and oh my golly, look at this. So I'm just pulling. At this point, I can take it out, and look what I've done. I have created a custom zipper. So look at that. It's got 2 different colors. Isn't that stinking cute? Now what I want to do is I'm going to separate this side here by simply pulling it apart, and I'm going to add the additional pull. Once again, I just dropped everything. Let me retrieve it. Okay, so I'm back. So we have this together, and I'm going to take the zipper pull, and once again, using the top where there's the opening, I'm going to add my zipper on one side in, and then I'm going to attach it to the zipper jig. And once again, the beauty to this is it gives you that third hand. I like to turn mine around so I can see the back. Add that tape in, gently pull, and just like that, I've added 2 zipper pulls to my zipper tape. Isn't that fun? So many things you can do with it. So once again, I want to show you real quick. I just unzipped this. how fast and easy it is, we will take the two pieces apart again, and you simply take the tape, expose it to the top, and I always like to start the first one just really easily. I'm going to put it on, I'm going to turn it around so that I can see the back, take the second piece of tape, add it through there, and just gently pull down, and just like that, it's done. So you can get this attached together super fast, super easy with the wonderful zipper jig. I'm telling you, if you have been, fussing with zippers forever by hand trying to get this done, this tool right here is going to be putting zippers together your best friend. Now, how many times, and I had 3 boys that I raised, my 3 kids, and their zippers separated, and like a tooth broke and you had to fix the pants, you can use that to do this too. Now keep in mind it also works on the small. So we've got it for 3, 4.5, and 5-inch zippers, and we can use whatever pulls we want. And this zipper pull, oh my God, this zig, oh my gosh, get the name right. The zipper jig is just going to make putting your tape, your zipper tape, and your zipper pulls a breeze. Oh my golly, what do you think? Isn't this thing, this wonderful, handy dandy zipper jig, going to change the way that you do zippers? And with these wonderful long pieces of zippers that you can purchase, I've got 7 different varieties of the zippers with the pulls, and also you're gonna need this wonderful tool that is a game changer for putting on zipper pulls, the zipper jig by the Gypsy Quilter. So we've got the zippers in 7 colors by Pam Demore, and we also have the zipper jig. And in order to get those today, you know what to do. You're going to go to moors-sew.com, or you can click on the link in the description where you can get and stock up on zippers and that zipper jig. Most economical, buying large lengths, cutting your zippers to the precise size you need. It's going to save you money in the long run. I love them, and they are definitely my go-to for making any bag or purse. And next, I've got to show you some of the samples I made with them. So let me show you some of the fun things I made. And I used each and every one of the 7 zippers, and obviously that wonderful zipper jig to create them. The first thing that I want to show you is I made a bunch of clam shell zip bags. So you can see this one's really fun. It's got the moose, and it has the gray color zipper pull. So simply zip it closed, and look how fun that is. And once again, that's the gray, and it's a clamshell design. Now I did a few of these. You might remember that this was a leftover block, and I like using my scraps. I think you guys all know that. But I used the fuchsia here, and I simply added my name with free motion, and look how cute. Once again, another clamshell zip bag with the fuchsia color. And then I had bought some pretty expensive fabric from Spoonflower, and I love it because it's custom fabric, and it's with galahs. Galahs are a type of cockatoo from Australia that I absolutely love. And I used the bronze one for this one, and look how cute that bag is. So not only did I use some of the fabric that I just couldn't live without, but I added that wonderful bronze color to make that zip bag. Now I've got a few other of the clamshells. This one, once again, I used leftover quilt blocks that I had, but I did something different where I added kind of a fringe top. So isn't that cute? And this is with the denim color. Love it. And then I was given, it's actually the fox in the center. I think you know by now I love foxes, but the fox in the center was given to me by my best friend Rhonda, and it was actually a little child's dress that was not working. It was broken. So I cut out the fox and I created just a pretty crazy quilted thing. And then I added the rose gold. And I love this one with that wonderful zipper pull. I love rose gold. So once again, rose gold. Now, I didn't want to just do the clamshell bag. So I also created a flat version. This is just with the red zipper pull here. And then I added just a little bit of fringe by taking just a piece of fabric and I cut the little notches in it so that it will fray. And over time, that's going to get really frizzy and fray, and I love that look. So this is just a flat bag that I created with just some of the fabrics that I love. And you also may notice I do my zippers a little bit different. You can see that sometimes I like to have the zipper pull showing, the zipper tape showing. And on this one, I have the zipper right at the top, but I have a casing that I create to make them. Now, I don't always do that. And on this one, this is also a leftover quilt block. And on this one, you can see I did no casing. I just did it a traditional zipper way on top. But also remember that I love to use scrap fabric and put it through the pull. So that way it's easier to pull the zipper pull. And I love doing that. I simply just took some scraps. I did sew the very center part to secure it so it's not going to fray. And then just added that on top. Once again, this is a traditional zipper done and with just a leftover quilt block. So use those quilt blocks. And then I did a bag that will stand up on the bottom. And once again, this is I used the rose gold and also the bronze teeth on this one. I added the zipper pull again, but I used the leftover quilt blocks from one of the last episodes here. And I just created one on the back, one on the front, which is why I use the different tapes. So you can see on this side, I kind of matched the green on the casing for the zipper, and then I added pink to match that one. So just a fun little bag, squared up the bottoms that you can use for whatever. And then the last thing, I used once again my leftover quilt blocks and added them onto the bag, made a basic tote bag. But with the zippers, I created a drop down, let me hold it this way, a drop down zipper. And how many of you have created tote bags? I know, oh my gosh, I probably have over 100 tote bags that I've created. And I use them periodically. But I have a thing where I like to make sure my items are secure. So I've added this zipper, drop down zipper, and this is where you can see I had the two colors. So I have the gray and the blue, and that way my items are going to stay nice and secure in here, and nothing's going to drop out. So I love this bag. It's going to be my new go-to. So once again, you can see it's some of my Aboriginal Australian fabrics that I've fallen in love with, and I just simply added those on top of a fabric, added my webbing, did some quilting to keep it down, and then I added the wonderful drop in on the top zipper so that my items will stay secure. And that's it. That's about all the time that I have for today with More Sewing with Michele, featuring zippers and that wonderful zipper jig. Don't forget to go to mores-sew.com to pick up your items today. And use the wonderful More Sewing with Michele coupon code featured right here. I hope you have a fabulous day. I hope you get many stitches in on your sewing machine. And I look forward to seeing you on the next More Sewing with Michele. Until then, bye-bye.